Alright, time for part 2 of understanding serial Experiments Lain, Layer 02 Girls. Alright, so in the beginning of the show, they're showing the guy at the club, and one of the things you notice is that they kind of show like this little dialogue going on, and the thing is, this dialogue, it's the guy. The guy's having the dialogue, and he's talking to other people. Think of it as chat room. The guy's having this conversation in the chat room. But the thing is, you can tell that he's having it right there because the drug Acela, he must have taken it before, because he talks about the market price, and then when he takes it, he says, I feel accelerated. So the easiest way to transition into the wire, like what Chisa did, is to take the drug. That's why I'm led to believe that Chisa may have taken the drug as well. So yeah, he was having that dialogue with whoever, the chat room or whatever, and that led to him taking a drug. And at 5:06, he's having his acid trip or whatever, and he looks and he sees Lain. And the thing is, when you take this drug, I mean, you could say Acela is the tree of knowledge. You could say it is. It's maybe like a cheap imitation of it, and but it gives you so much knowledge. I mean, they even talk about it later on in the episode. And so at 5:06, he sees Lain, and he realizes that is God. So he just looks, and he's like all flabbergasted. He's like, "Whoa, wow," he's right there. Well, she's right there, and that's God. So fast forwarding to well, I mentioned that. No, that's not too important at the moment. So at 9:25, they're Lain is walking to school, and the three girls, they start talking about, oh, was that Lain, at the club and all this stuff, and Lain's just confused, and someone they can't really decide. Now, obviously, that was Lain. That was just one of the other two. Now, as to which Lain it was, now I've heard different things, but I'm led to believe that this is the because there's three Lains. There's the Lain that you see, the shy girl. You got evil Lain, and you got sassy Lain, plain and simple. So I'm led to believe that that's sassy Lain. That was there because she gives people attitudes and all that stuff. The main you could tell the differences between all three just by their looks, by how they look, and that's why some people say that there's only two Lains, but if you see sassy Lain, like later on, you see sassy Lain and you see evil Lain, and they don't look anything alike. So that was definitely sassy Lain that he saw. Now 11:40. This was like the big confusing scene. And this is what, hell, I had to think about this a lot to try to figure out what it was. So at 11:40, Lain is walking by herself, and she sees the girl who got hit by the train and three other people. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Why would this girl show herself to Lain? And who were these other three? So, what I'm led to believe, this is the only conclusion that I can really think of, because this girl had nothing in common with, didn't know Lain at all. What I'm led to believe is that these people also crossed into the wire, like Chisa and the guy subsequently does, and they wanted to show themselves. They wanted to see God. So they pretty much just popped up in front of Lain in the school. And, Lain doesn't know what the hell's going on, so she's freaking out. Now, how to back up that statement? The girl, Lane saw the girl kill herself, and it seems that if Lane could see it, the other girl could probably have seen Lane watching her die at the train. Now with the other three, one may be Chisa, and the other two don't really know, but we can assume that Chisa couldn't be the first one to have done this. Just the first one that Lane knows, because the Wire seems to have been around for a little while, and they're all fairly young. So, the people who created the Wire and everything, they're a little older, and they may have, understood it quicker than these kids growing up. I mean, the one guy, the false god, he kills himself a while back before Chisa or anybody else does it. So we can assume that these are other beings that just want to see God. Now at 1450, Lain walks down the stairs in her house and she sees her parents kissing. Now, there's people who say, a lot of people. This is I don't agree with this. People say that Lane's family is fake, that none of them are real. They were all actors, except Mika. But that's a whole other topic at the moment. Now, I don't believe that. I really don't believe that Lane's parents were fake. All right. Now, they may have been put into the role, but they were, in essence, her parents. The way I see it, the easiest way to see it is that Lane's father is Joseph, who took care of Jesus and raised him as his own son. Now, because there's a lot of Christian symbolism in the show, it seems to make perfect sense. Now, as to why Lane's mother isn't Mary, it doesn't really portray Mary too well. There doesn't seem to be much a reason behind it. They just gave the father a bigger role. I don't know. I have to, in later episodes, I'll talk more about Lane's mother, but yeah, I'm led to believe that they were her at least, in the sense of like Joseph and Jesus and Mary, their parents. And even when Lane, at the very end, Lane erases herself from the world, you see Lane's parents and Mika, they're all together. And if they were just all actors, why would they be together? So that's why I cannot accept the fact that they were actors. There's no way. At 1645, you see Mika, though. She, Lane's father set up the computer for him, and Mika, he walks inside and Mika's there, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And Mika just looks like, she just looks in there, and this isn't that big. It's just Mika starting to get that something's awry here, and she just walks away, and further on, her suspicions are proven. But that's the first indication. At 1730, Lain gets a text message from Alice, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go," blah blah blah. But then she gets a text message, she's like, "Why won't you come?" As to who that is, well, it's definitely gotta be Alice, but I'm led to believe that these things, these like little dialogues, Lain is able to, like, she doesn't really understand it, but she's led to like hear him somehow, like hear him and acknowledge him. She doesn't really know how, but she realizes that, oh, Alice really wants me to go, so I'll go, and that just furthers her resolve to do so. Now at 1950, the guy, this whole ending basically. The guy shoots the two people. Now, and he makes this comment at 2102. He's like, the wire can't interfere in the real world. Now, this is where the whole social commentary on modern day living comes into effect. Because, well, I'll give you the easiest point. Because of people not being able to distinguish fiction from reality, as this guy obviously didn't, because he thought he was playing a game, just like later on in other episodes, people die thinking they're playing a game. Case in point is that brother actually, this really happened. A brother killed his little brother doing a wrestling move, and that's an example of somebody not being able to distinguish reality from fiction, because wrestling is fake, but the kid was led to believe, oh, this is amazing, and my kid and my brother will be fine because they're fine, and he ends up killing his brother. And I mean, there's other examples too, freaking people getting married in Half-Life and World of Warcraft, and they just can't distinguish reality from fiction, and they accept these internet relationships as real, reality, and they exclude the whole real world. See, the thing is with Lain is that it's good to have a little of both. That's really the whole point of the show, and but if you do the extreme of one or the other, it just does not work. And so that's that. The guy can't distinguish between reality and fiction, and it's because he took the drug. And the drug, he sees everything. He gets acknowledgement, from the tree of knowledge, from a Acela, or as I call it, the tree of knowledge, or the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And the thing is, because he knows so much, it's like he just can't handle it, and he realizes that everyone, as they mentioned, everyone is connected. Lain mentions everyone is connected, and he can't escape. Being alone is impossible. And this is another thing on social commentary, and that nothing you do today, is private. Like, you go on the computer, everything is saved in history. You have cell phones, so you can be in the middle of nowhere, but someone can contact you. You're never really alone. Even if you sit out in the middle of the woods, one way or the other, you have a car. Through technology, you cannot be alone. Someone can go see you. There is no way. So Lain tells him, it's like, well, you can't escape from this. You just need to work it out. And the guy can't do it. So he ends up taking the extreme and going into the wire, which, take what you will, but wasn't the best idea. So that's that on episode 2, girls, or Layer 02 girls. Thanks for watching, and I will be making Layer 03 explanation soon. Cheers.